Welcome back to the Traderpunk channel and to my project, Road to 1 Million. The first 3 months of the project are now complete, and I'm really happy with how things have gone so far. Thanks to my recent short trades, I've been able to make some strong progress, specifically with a short in the S&P 500, another in the Dow Jones, and one more in the Bund future. I already broke down the S&P 500 and Dow Jones trades in detail in the last episode. All 3 positions were closed in profit, and as a result, my trading account has hit a new all-time high. Right now, I'm holding another short position. Which market it is, and why I took the trade, I'll show you in this video. So today, before we jump over to my trading desk, I first want to take a look at the long-term chart of gold. And the reason for that is simple. My current trade is in gold, and to understand why I entered this position, we need to look at the bigger picture. What you're seeing here is the gold chart from 1990 all the way to today, April 2nd, 2025. What stands out is that from 2012 to 2024, gold formed a classic cup and handle pattern. The cup developed between 2012 and 2020, and the handle between 2020 and 2024. Then, in 2024, we saw a clear breakout to the upside, followed by a massive rally. Based on my technical analysis, I believe that this rally may now have reached its target zone, around $3,150. Why that level? If you take the depth of the cup, from the lows in 2016 up to the breakout zone, and project that distance upward from the breakout, you land right around the 3,150 mark. And since we've already slightly exceeded that level, I'm now starting to look for short opportunities. Also, I want to briefly take a look at seasonality in gold, which might further support my short idea, so let's check that out next. Here we're looking at the seasonal chart of gold. Unlike a typical price chart, a seasonal chart shows the average price behavior throughout the year, based on historical data over many years, in this case, over the past 50 years. On the horizontal axis, we have the calendar year, and on the vertical axis, the chart shows the average price movement. This kind of chart makes it easy to spot recurring seasonal patterns in gold. And as you can see here, gold typically tends to rise in the second half of the year. More specifically, the seasonal uptrend usually starts around July 6th. Before that point, so in the first half of the year, gold hasn't really delivered much in terms of performance, at least on average over the past decades. Of course, keep in mind that this chart is based on 50 years of history, which includes both strong gold phases like the current one since 2018, as well as weaker periods, such as from 1980 to 2001. So when combining this seasonal pattern with the technical price target around 3,150, it gives me additional confidence that we might see at least a temporary correction, which is why I'm now actively looking for short entries in gold. Here you can see my trading screen. Right here, you can see the gold chart, and as you can see, I've already opened a short position with 5 contracts at around $3,150. What we're seeing is that around the 3,160 level, the market keeps getting rejected. We had a clear reversal pattern during the overnight session on the 4-hour chart, and ever since then, the market has tried multiple times to push above 3,160. But each attempt was quickly sold off. You can see that clearly by the long wicks on the 4-hour candles, which show rejection from higher prices. I'm hoping that this resistance zone continues to hold, and that we now see a move to the downside. Right now, I've set my stop loss above the resistance zone at $3,180, and my take profit is currently at $3,090. However, if the move down turns out to be more dynamic, I might adjust my target lower. I'll decide that based on how price develops. Maybe I'll let the trade run a bit longer if the momentum picks up. So that's the current idea behind my short in gold. I'm curious to see if this is really a turning point, or if the market pushes higher, I get stopped out, and I'll just have to wait for the next solid setup. But as always, we're trading probabilities, not certainties. Up here on the right, in the portfolio performance window, you can see my year-to-date performance. Right now, I'm up 33.5%, which is around $7,000 in gains so far this year. I'm happy with how things are going, and definitely curious to see where the account will end up by the end of the year. Let me know in the comments what you think about this gold trade, and where you think my trading account could be by the end of the year. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a quick comment down below. I'd really appreciate it.